whole problem. Oh, thank you so much, Naski, for letting me know you can't hear me. Thank you. Hope you can hear me right now. Damn. Hope you can hear me right now. Bakaribu Sana to everyone once again on Rumble and Beaches. So literally, we shall be discussing about the African ancient history that scares white people. Talk about how Kenyan troops have been deployed in Haiti and what is their mission there because they're not maintaining any peace. We shall discuss also about literally how the rebels are attacking DRC Congo. Of course, this is the M23 rebels. Still, the fight is ongoing. Remember, yesterday we did discuss about the schools being reopened and where we saw also a number of literally 84 soldiers, facing trial that is after rape and other criminals. But that is a top discussion for the day. Karibuni sana. I'll be getting back to one more jam and of course come back with the quote of the day today. Hope you guys are feeling blessed. Hope you're ready for today, spending a beautiful, beautiful day. I'm gonna play Happiness by Asake, featuring of course Saz, featuring Ghana. Hope you guys get to enjoy. This is one of my favorite jams. And of course today personally I feel blessed, enjoying and taking every day at a time, living stress free and smiling all the way. That is basically the vibration I'm on. But this is by the one and only Asake. Hope you guys get to enjoy this. I'll be coming back after this short musical break with the quote of the day. I know we know this. Yes, the 46 minutes past the top of the hour, and of course, Karibuni Sana once again. This is the Pan African Bliss Show. To everyone who's here with us for the first time on YouTube, Rumble, BitChute, and to everyone who's here, kindly, I'd love to urge you to also download our app so that you can be able to listen to us on the radio in case you're not able to stream on YouTube or catch us up on YouTube. So long as you're connected to the internet, our app is very easy for you to find on the Google Play Store, on the website. That is for those who are literally using any iPhone or Apple device. www.blackoutfire network is the name, and that's how you can be able to connect with us. But my quote of today, a revolutionary quote of the day today says, freedom is never voluntary given to the oppressor. By the oppressor, sorry. Let me read that again. Freedom is never voluntary given by the oppressor. It must be demanded by the oppressed. Okay? These actually are a quote from Martin Luther King Jr., who says freedom is never voluntarily given by the oppressor. It must be demanded by the oppressed, which I completely agree because Africans have been for so long oppressed, especially when you talk about our history because there's so much denied it. We've been denied our own history. And again, every day as I present or as I learn some things, I do connect the dots of why white people literally have racism, the Indians, maybe the Chinese, this other race completely, apart from the black people, why they're so racist or why naturally they be racist. I'm not saying all of them, so don't get me wrong. But I think one thing I've learned still at the end of the day, no matter how good they are, they still that much or that percentage of still racism in them. It's just that it has not yet snapped out of them. That is basically personally how I feel. But as we talk about literally the oppressed, we want to start with what is happening in my own country right here in the 254, and that is basically about the Kenya IDs process. I've been talking about the government services out there really poor, and it's also part of the conversation when you talk about when will corruption end, because it's also one of the articles I want to read right here. When will corruption end in Africa? Because when you go to these government offices, when you're demanding the services that you're supposed to be given as a citizen, you're not going to get them for free. You must actually bribe. And despite bribing, you'll end up still not receive your document on time. So what is really, really happening? In majority of the cases, if you don't know anyone actually inside these offices, despite you bribing, your money might literally just go as good as gone, just as a good as a waste because you're not going to get the help you require. But there is a pose of the question posed on the national security and versus equality when it comes to the documentation process. And they're saying while some have welcomed the introduction of the new ID registration and issuing process in Kenya, local NGOs, Haki na Sheria, I don't know what it really supports, but I've heard about it. The Nubian Rights Forum, of course, you know about the NGOs. They're not good. They're no good. But listen, the local NGOs, Haki na Sharia, the Nubian Rights Forum, Paranet, not Paranel. Yeah, Paranet and Haki Center have written to President William Ruto's government to express their concern about human rights violation during the process. Now Environment Cabinet Secretary Aden Duale and Mombasa Governor, that is Abdul Wamad Nasir, has joined the condemnation of the ID venting procedure. And they're saying that we have people over 50 years of age waiting for IDs in Dagoretti, Nyeri, Garissa, Wajir, Nairobi, and other areas of the country. And the Haki and Sharia statement is actually the ones who are demanding for change. But this is not actually the only. It's not only the organizations. Personally, I've faced the same issue when it came to our passport. Our passport took like almost 2 years, literally, for it to come out. And even if it comes out, they still don't call you because you do have our numbers. When you're done with the documents, because you guys don't even give proper timing when the documents are supposed to be released. If I come to your office, you tell me it's after a week. I go there after a week, you're going to tell me, oh, we need chai for you to be able to proceed these things faster. I give you chai. And then I come again after another week. Still, there's no procedure. Oh, there's so many people. The only one who has given chai, it's so many people. We need proper working systems. This bullshit and overcharging people. Why are we even being charged when it comes to a national ID? Okay, I understand they're trying to tell people not to be reckless and everything, but the way they skyrocketed even the replacement taxes or the amount you're supposed to be paying right now when you go replace an ID, not so many people can afford this. You can hear literally from the statement, we have people over 50 years of age waiting for IDs in all these counties. So I, as a 50, 60, 70 years old person, why are they supposed to get literally 500 to go replace an identification card? It should be free. The charges should go back. If not free, the charges should go back to normal, what people can afford. We've been talking about the SHA. That is the newly introduced healthcare system or healthcare card, however they're calling it, which is not also working or even helping Kenyans in any sort of way. So this is just recklessness. That is basically what I'm going to call it. As much as we have all these local NGOs, shout out to them, of course, for doing this, but still, it's not going to make a change because I do believe the oppressed is not just the 50 years old. So many people are oppressed. So many people, when you talk about actually even the US embassy itself, when it comes to access of visas, it has become so hard on Africans, yet despite paying money. It takes so much amount of money for so many people getting these funds to just go pay for a visa or even a passport for you not to get proper services. The same thing goes to our hospitals. The same thing goes to schools. The same thing goes to the police officers. Like, we really have shitty working system and things have to change. And this is why we have the question of when will corruption ever end in Africa? When will Africa break the chains from the chain? When will Africa break from the chains of corruption? Because right now it's so bad to the point, leave alone now our own leaders. Corruption, I feel like right now has even been normalized even amongst us. Because for me, there's some things or some places or some people I deal with. I can't just deal with them without giving them money. Trust me. There's some people today, like I've kept it part of my budget. Every month I must give so and so this amount because they've been doing this kind of favors. Because no one is going to do you a favor for free. We've really completely lost that touch and unity we had of just helping each other and someone giving you something genuinely. People want it by force. If you don't give it, you won't get the help you need. You won't get the services you need. But when will this chain ever break of corruption? If I go to some places, I won't lack someone who's going to ask me for chai. I could be walking. A cop just sees you, calling you for no goddamn reason. And they feel like they just want to demand chai, asking you damn question. You're not on the wrong, but they'll start asking you damn question. And then at the end of the damn question is, hey, can you leave me 100 bob? Can you give me $1 or half a dollar? I'm like, why did you even stop me? The chain of corruption has to end because why we have actually poor working systems when it comes to in these government offices or the public services we're supposed to be getting, it is because of corruption. And despite us still playing along with the corruption, nothing is still being done correctly. Because that's the thing. We've been playing along with the corruption. for so long. But still, despite us playing along with the corruption, allowing them to do their bullshit, I'm still suffering the most. I've agreed yes to work with the system the way it is. But nothing still changes. You're not gonna get the same good services despite you bribing. You're not gonna. It's crazy. You must be on a certain level or have certain amount of money for you to be literally be heard or served. And it is so sad. But shout out to John Mosquito, karibu sana. Hope you're doing great today. Good morning on your end and good afternoon from my end. 6 minutes to 2 p.m. right here in the 254. I don't know the time on your end, but karibu to today's conversation. We just started and we're talking about literally the national services in Kenya. And to be specific, in Africa, we're talking about the national security and equal rights. And this one, it comes to actually not just the IDs, but the documentation processes and how they are not taken serious. There's that bribing, there's everything that you'll do everything required, but still you're not gonna get the proper services you need. So the question is, when will Africa break free from the chain of corruption? So this article says the 2024 Transparency International, which is a red flag, corruption perception index. Because why don't we have Africa Transparency Africa corruption perception? Oh, because our leaders are so corrupt, not even bring this up. So it calls itself the CPI, and it has revealed that Sub-Saharan Africa remains the lowest scoring region globally, with an average score of 33 out of 100 and 90% of its countries scoring below 50. So I'm going to just read the countries actually, because I saw this today in the morning. The countries that have been mentioned to be less corrupt. And family, make this make sense, because the top of the country is Rwanda. Rwanda is the least corrupt country in Africa. Rwanda is one of the countries supporting genocide, the killing of the DRC Congo people, supporting the M23 rebel through all this fake organization and the US. So how comes Rwanda is now the most least corrupt country in Africa? This is such a shame. Because this clearly is making or should make Africans understand these puppets have been kept in power. And again, I'll go back to the quote I've just said. The oppressor is not gonna break you free. It is you, the oppressed. You're gonna have to actually demand your freedom. The oppressor is gonna keep you oppressed. Unless you're the oppressor, you see you being oppressed. Now people are gonna keep on ranking these countries up. Because just make it make sense. We have Rwanda right now being discussed about the genocide, the killing of the DRC Congo people.
Because that's not corruption inside their country. That's not corruption inside their country. When they talk about corruption, Joe, they mean the services. If you go to Rwanda, everything works. Okay, even though he's corrupt as far as committing wars and stealing out other people's countries, like his system inside when you go in Rwanda, the systems work. You can get your passport on time. Take a week, you got it. No one's talking about chai. Take a cat. There's no chai nowhere, Joe. That's what they're saying. The systems in Rwanda work, but the systems in other parts of Africa don't work. It's always chai and bribe. Rwanda, there's no bribing. He'll kill you. That's not tolerated. So the police are not going to bribe you. The civil service is not going to bribe you. Those services are going to get done because they get paid to get them done, and they're going to get done on time. That's what they're talking about. They're not talking about the country's not corrupt or the things it does outside its borders. They're talking about the services to the people. Like every time you turn on, you need chai to do this. Everybody, like a doorman in Rwanda is not asking you for chai. This is job. No one's going to be asking for bribes. That's not tolerated, but they're not going to be doing that because Gaddafi wanted to make a first-rate country. He wanted this country to be more European, where it's not, where people can come. No one's going to be asking for bribes, and the social services work. So everything.
Well, if it's in that case, probably I'd say yes. Personally, I've not been in the country, so I can't say much because we know, of course, police officers are paid very poorly globally in Africa, or I'd say in Africa to be specific, in the African continent. Police officers are paid very shitty. And if you look at literally why they are easily used, or these soldiers who are easily used to go against their fellow African people, it shows they're desperate for the little pay they're gonna get from Kagame or his system so that they can sustain their lifestyle. I don't really believe there's no bribe in Rwanda. I believe it's there, but probably on the low. It's there.
It may be very, very low, Joe. It's not like other African countries. It's not. I know it's not. We had 2 trips. I'm taking 2 trips to Rwanda, Spikes and Cami. It's not there.
I
It's
know.
not there like it is in Kenya. It's not there like it is in Ghana. Like it's not there like it is in Nigeria and
Mm.
Zimbabwe and other African countries. It's not there. We're not saying that it's not a corrupt country because the things it does outside the country to get money to flow into it by create genocide. But that's not how corruption is. See, you think about overall corruption. They're not considering that. They're talking about your institutions. Are your institutions functioning? In Africa, institutions don't function. They're all corrupt. Rwanda, the institutions function.
That's just what I say. That's what I started with. There's an echo from your end. Um, there's an echo on your end, but that's basically what I started with, and why we're talking about this corruption ranks that have been released today. That is the corruption index in the East Africa, and literally I'd say the whole of the African continent. But when it comes to the top countries, they're saying, of course, Rwanda is one among them. We have Tanzania, well, which is a lie because we were giving a little bit of chai in Tanzania to the cops. Yeah, I remember us giving chai to the cops one time when one of the Uber drivers was arrested for not having his driver's license renewed, something like that, and we had to give him money. I think if it was two, three cops, if I can remember, from literally all the trips we've gone. So yeah, it could kind of make sense. It's there, but not really that high. In Kenya, three, that's a big lie. Kenya number three, it's a big lie. Kenya is I'm just talking about literally the national security and equal rights when it comes to the not just the ID identification card, but literally most of the documents procedures. And now you have to go bribe in these offices, but still after bribing, you won't get your documents on time. You won't get everything on time unless you really know someone really deep in these offices or these public offices. You will not get everything you want on time.
That,
So
is that,
Kenya
that
level of corruption is on top. Should be actually number one country that is leading in corruption. When it comes to the police officer, I'll just give it a perfect example. The cops. I've seen this before. A cops is gonna actually stop you, especially for the ladies. For me, it has happened to me before. He stopped me, starts asking me dumb questions that are not even leading me anywhere. And then at the end of the conversation, it's like, now can you leave me chai? I'm like, what the heck? Are you even serious? Why did you even stop me? Number one, I'm on the wrong. You're not asking me any question that is leading me anywhere, or a question that is gonna help you. You're asking me dumb question, and then at the end of the day, you want me to give you chai for what? You just think it's crazy because they always think like like just like all the drivers. All the drivers like in the 254 always have to work with loose change. That is 50 shillings or 100 bob, just in case you bump into a cop, so that you can give them and for them to let you walk free with whatever mistake you have. This is something I've seen. It's a norm. You must have loose change just in case a cop arrests you. So Kenya is on top of corruption. Talk about corruption also. Leave alone not only the services we get from the government office,
Hold
also
on, Joe. But what are the other countries? What are the other countries?
we have Uganda, which is the fourth one. I'm not sure about the Uganda case. Maybe Maria could tell us more, but I bet, of course, it's also high on corruption. We have DRC, of course. We saw yesterday how even the soldiers are behaving, so makes kind of a whole lot of sense. Burundi, not sure. Somali is the seventh one, and then we have South Sudan as the
Yeah,
eighth one.
yeah. I would say South Sudan is 10 times more corrupt than damn Kenya. I would say Somalia is 10 times more corrupt than Kenya. Yes, yes, they're correct.
Hmm.
Yes, Joby. Yes.
Corrupts. Kenya is really corrupt. We can
It is.
keep.
You guys were you guys number three.
It is really corrupt. You should be number. You should be literally like.
What number are you guys, Joby? Number three.
Yeah, we're number three.
Okay, you're very corrupt, but Sudan is more corrupt than Somalia is more corrupt. Yes, yes, they're corrupt, Joby. You
All
guys the
right.
most corrupt? No, but you close. Yes, but no.
Yeah, but that's
Those
the data that
those are
has
more
been.
corrupt because those are like failed states. Kenya's not a completely failed state. Somalia is a failed state. South Sudan is a failed state. So
Mm,
there's all corruption and no shit work right. Nothing. That's why there's a bunch of Somalis in Kenya. Why there's a bunch of South Sudanese in Kenya? Because those countries are failed states. They don't work at all.
mm-hmm. It's crazy, but that is the data that has been released. Personally, what I'd say, when will Africa break free from the chain of corruption is when we realize how corruption is not also
That's
serving
going to have
us.
to be a revolution, Joe. But that's going to start from the top down.
Yeah,
It
because
started that your corruption started with Jomo Kenyatta. So he was corrupt as fuck. Like all these puppets were corrupt. So all systems are corrupt. So you got till you get an even to a rate till you um have revolutions, and then you got to rechange the culture. That's got to start. That's why I'm not. I'm pretty sure Rwanda was corrupt before Kagame got as far as the systems. When he got things that nah, I can't allow this. I'm a dictator. I'm gonna stop it. It's not gonna be allowed. You're gonna go to prison. So he's got. That's what he did. That's why you can leave. That's why you can leave your. At Cammy do a thing. I said leave your purse in the street, Cammy. I'm gonna leave $20 in there. See if they take it. They didn't take it. $20. We left that person in the street for like 7 hours. Came back. It was that's right, Joe. That's how. That's yes. That's a fact.
I don't believe that.
Uh, well, we did it. I don't care if you believe it. We did it.
I need a proof. Is there a video? I don't
And
believe
we did have the video. It's gone, man. It's on the channels there.
this. So you gonna tell
I'm not,
me
I'm not,
you
I'm not,
left $20 somewhere for 7 hours? Now me, I'm not even a cop. Me, Joby, I see $20 on the road, and I'm not gonna pick it. That's a lie. That's a
it's
lie.
not, Joby, we did it. Just see. No, it. I mean, I can't lie to you because we did it. I can't
Cause,
lie to you, Joby, because we did it. They said,
cause, hmm?
and when they came, they said, "Madam, here's your purse." They put the set, "Madam, the money was there." They looked at the money; it was still there. That's that's the system in Rwanda. So,
I
uh,
can't even create even in this building itself. I'm gonna leave shit outside there. Someone is gonna pick it unless the CCTV records that. So, hey, yo, that's crazy, man. That's super, super insane. But I hope that's true about Rwanda. Personally, unless I'm there, I believe every African country is corrupt in its own level. In its own level, the top we might not be on the top, but corruption is there. It's really, really there. Okay, and it's why people giving us all this. It's the international. So it's called what, the international corruption perception. Nah, so I'm not gonna buy this. I'm not
I,
gonna buy
I,
it.
I don't care if you're gonna buy it with Rwanda. That's just the truth because their system is set up completely different. Their mind frame has been changed over 30 years. So their mind frame reflects Kagame's mind frame as far as what he's doing in other countries is dashly. And in Rwanda, that wasn't tolerated. So it's an honest society with inside of it. That's a fact. We did it, Joe. It's not me just saying we did that. And it's been okay. If you don't believe, who else did that? Okay, I remember Wody because I think Wody Meyer did it. That's why I wanted to do it too. Okay, do this. You're on YouTube. Say Wody Meyer. Say Wody Meyer leaves items. Say Wody Meyer leaves items in 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 Kigali to see if they would be stolen. Say Wody Meyer leaves items in Kigali to see if they would be stolen. And he got the same result, but nothing stolen. So look, he didn't tell nobody what he was doing. He know his camera, blah, blah, blah.
Hey, welcome to Kenya. Try this. Come try
You,
this here.
you can't we can't try it there. We know we can't try it in no other African country. Can,
I'll be the one to take it. Number one, try it right here. Oh, giving you a warning. Don't try this at home. Not here. Africa, you don't see on TV. What the Maya leaves items on Rwanda to see if they'll be stolen. They're not giving me none of that.
what does it say?
This is Zimbabwe left the UK in 20 facts about Rwanda. Yeah, you should know. Uh, or you can never get about my studio. I remember the town. Mm. There's none. There's none leading to that video.
Okay, so I got nothing.
It's
I
like
don't know.
majority of videos that is done.
Yeah, I don't know what to name it. So you're right. I don't know how to name it. Um,
Hmm. Yeah, but unless I'm there personally, I'll have to experiment and see how factual that is. Because you can try this that in Kenya. You
of course
can.
not. We know that. So,
Let me tell you, even you will even like maybe you have your last coin, like that is your last coin, your everything to survive with. It's gonna fall down, but someone is not even gonna tap you behind you, like, hey, something fell. This is yours. Nah, they're gonna pick it and go with it. They don't have time for that. Okay, your phone is gonna be snatched as you start on a matatu. Broom, that one gone. Oh my God. We're just discussing about how yesterday we're discussing about how the system of I think that was on Monday. We're discussing how our people literally can be really rowdy, when it comes to thieving, because others have knives. Oh, there's another one. I've seen another video of a child crying. Oh my God, it's a 2-year-old child.
they
Two, 3 year
stole. They stole from a 2-year-old child.
No, they killed his father in front of him, and this child is so traumatized. Man, his videos are going viral, and then he's been abducted by one of the governors, our ex-governors, Nairobi governor. So every time you just see the video of this kid, is just traumatized because of the him seeing the dad being stabbed to death like multiple times. It's just so sad. So
So
don't
nobody.
try
So they
that.
wouldn't rob him. So they were trying to kidnap him. They stabbed him to death.
No, they wanted a phone, so they stabbed him to death because I think he was resisting and he was with his child. So the child witnessed everything. So it's traumatizing him. It's so sad. It's so
Stabbed him
sad.
to death over a phone.
Yeah, yeah. So you tell me $20 and then come claim it's yours.
Now, so, so he didn't
Shimon
know.
was
He didn't
Shimon
know
was
he. He didn't know he was in a bad neighborhood or something or what. He was in a,
like, okay. One thing I'd say, even for me when I'm walking here, sometimes I'd say this Ronga is the safest place I've seen personally. I've never seen a neighborhood so safe where I can walk maybe at 11 p.m. and I'm safe. At 1 p.m. I'm safe. At 3 p.m. I'm safe. Because we used to do. I remember the time when I used to walk a lot with Mark and the rest of the gang
Mhm.
outside. We would, like, go outside at 2 p.m. and no one is gonna attack us, or we're not gonna feel threatened. Like, it's so safe. But in some places like where I showed you where I've grown up, my dad's
I know that ain't safe. You crazy?
you remember them threatening me about my phone, like it was daylight. Daylight, they're telling me, yo, you gotta get that phone gone. There's some places you might assume, yes, it is safe. Personally, I've never had like a bad theft in Rongai. Apart from what Shmani said she saw when she was coming to work the other time, where she found a
Mhm.
and stabbed there. I've had only maybe a few noises of women screaming sometime when I was living here. Their phones getting snatched by some drunkard boys and all that, but nothing extra. Literally, it's nothing like a daily thing.
Yeah.
This place like Ibera, that is a norm. Whether you live there or not, they're gonna steal from you. Because I remember also me growing up in the same where I grew up. There's a time they literally targeted me. They saw my dad giving me his phone and I had my phone. So I was carrying two phones. And they followed me. They literally followed me and tried to snatch the phones away from me. So
How did they know you had 2 phones? You had them in your hand?
I think they saw, because my dad's shop is, you remember where my dad's shop is?
Yeah.
So is- there's literally how it is so open to see
It's
everything.
open. Yes, they saw you.
You
All
can
right.
just see. happening. So I think they saw because they literally followed me the same path I was. I'm like, am I being followed? By the time I was realizing, like they caught me and I screamed. So they're like, God damn, Nim to Mose, like saying it's Moses' daughter. So like you knew, you followed me, you knew who I am. So it's crazy. It is crazy. So sometimes you don't know, but don't try that. Whatever is happening in Rwanda, please don't try it in Kenya. I'm gonna
Of
warn
course,
you that.
they know that. You agree? They know there's the differences. Like,
Yeah, one full
and
of
then,
time.
listen, I'm not fucking around your dad in them neighborhood. That shit look dangerous in the motherfucker.
Yeah, that you can try that there because I've seen people hiring guns there. That's what I grew up seeing. The knife stabbings. There's a time a woman got raped. I was saying this on Monday. A woman got raped in the morning when I was washing dishes, and I couldn't do anything. Like you hear all the noises, and she's getting robbed, and she's being raped, and there's nothing you can do.
Wow, you watching this? Were you looking out the window and shit? Looking
No,
out the window and stuff?
it was dark. It was around 4 because me used to wake up early. Like in our household, we used to wake up early. It chose us to be done by 8. And of course, because it's school days, I have to do some chores because before going to school, it was around 4. I woke up at 4 that day, and a woman was going to work, and it was a really dark place. So I think either she assumed it was safe, which was very early, and then all I had was noises, and I think they raped her because
Oh,
it.
you don't know. You just think. Okay, you don't know.
No, cause we went there in the morning when I was going to school in the morning. That's now around 6. People were there because she was there crying. Like she was
Oh,
there
okay,
crying.
okay.
She, like they took her phone, they took her handbags, and they raped her. That's what she said.
Oh
So
shit. Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
because then
Yeah.
the noises and all that. So it's just so sad, man. But as we move on to the next conversation, still talking about country and why you should not try most of the things in Kenya is because Kenyans themselves are not safe. Majority when they where they go, I'd say like Nigerians. I feel like Kenyans are somehow like Nigerians on the low. I don't know somehow.
Yep. I've been said that. Yep.
Yeah, so we have, of course, the troops who are taken to Haiti, and we've seen the UN, the US reporting the cases of gangs escalating. So the question I posed that was, what are the troops doing if the gang violence is still escalating, people being displaced from their homes? But this is what is happening. So I'm gonna share this very quickly as we continue.
Thumbs up, and share the broadcast.
I don't know this lady for shit, but I'm gonna share it.
That way others will know that we're here. And for that, we say thank you so much, family. Certainly, many of you probably have seen some of
Like her nails. Why does she do these crazy nails? Like
my coverage in times
Leave a
past
comment
about
and ask
Haiti.
her
I've
something. We don't know
yeah, you know her. She's from the Africa Diaspora
her. I
Channel.
know. I don't know. I don't look at her crazy ass. It's that Vicky something. I forgot Vicky something shit. I forgot her name. Vicky something.
You know her.
discussed some of the folks that are on the ground, the activists on the ground that exposed the United States and other Western imperialists, the reason why they create instability in their country. You heard about the fact that the United States and others sabotaged um, some of the trade, the oil money, and so forth, and the relationships that they had with some of their
Yeah, thank you,
neighboring
mosquito. Vicky
countries in
Diller.
order to build up their
Vicky.
nation, and how some of the US's puppets, the West puppets, mishandled or misused or stole the money. And so the people on the ground didn't actually get it. How many of you all know that
Of course.
those relationships that they were going to have with other countries such as Venezuela and so forth would have rivaled such groups as the IMF and others? Yes, that tend to be predatory against the darker peoples of the planet. Certainly, you all have heard me discuss some of the suspicious activities and some of the very
Look at
terrible
this nigga cracking in Haiti.
accusations that the Clinton
Yeah,
Foundation has been
they
accused
steal all
of
the money. They
in that
organ harvest. They traffic
nation.
children. These niggas, and these blacks don't know. Yeah, oh my God, oh my, it's the former President Clinton, moron. He's the one stealing from me. He's the one causing instability. He's the one raping, robbing, all kind of shit. And this guy, was a former president. Look at that, like his ass in Haiti right there. But
Well, among many, many others, I have discussed in times past how the United States is the one that caused the former president, Mr. Aristide,
Yeah, Haiti. I thought it
to
was
be
Haiti.
removed from office. We threatened him under Bush 1.
Yeah,
When
out of
Clinton
Haiti.
got into office, Clinton restored him back into office, but he did it based on a very terrible rice tariff
Mhm.
agreement, which further impoverished their people there. And then when Bush 2 got into office, he turned around and also threatened force former President Aristide out as well. They
That's
threatened
Haiti.
to assassinate him if he did not leave, and they
Exactly.
dropped him off in a country in
Exactly. That's why
Africa.
Haiti's fucked up because the white man keeps going in, stealing resources, killing leaders. But that's what they do in Africa too. But that's what this is showing Haiti. And oh, why Haiti's all fucked up? Oh, why can't these niggas? Because the white man's a parasite. Goes and still creates instability. All that shit is them doing it. But the IMF, the World Bank, all that shit was set up so white people can keep stealing out of African countries and other countries globally. That's why Haiti's fucked up. Then you get a bootlick Ruto. Hey, you mean you go help us with Haiti? You ain't making no money doing it. They cop your money, and they're the ones fucked it up. They're the ones fucked it up. The white people. They got you because they don't want to look like they're racist. Everybody know they are racist. They want a black face there, like you fighting terrorism. Those people are fighting because everything's been stolen from them. Go ahead, Joe.
United States of America. They did this. That's just one of many, many different things that the United States and others have done to this glorious little country. Very strategic, though. I have discussed here also testimony from people on the ground and people that have knowledge of the country that even certain deleterious factions of the UN travel at night to transport what some have alleged now. And I played you the footage of that. Some of the folks that were talking on Mr. Rock Newman's show, where they have alleged that certain UN factions were transporting minerals and other similar
Of
things
course,
back and forth at night.
The UN was set up by the wicked people. The UN's not there to help you. They're in your country, then they're stealing. So yes, they got secret trucks in Haiti. Why Haiti's so poor? Why does Haiti got the biggest American embassy in the Western Hemisphere in Haiti? Why is the biggest goddamn fucking embassy there in a poor country? Because the CIA makes sure that shit, those minerals come to white people. UN. How was Haiti the richest country? Richer than America. It's a fact. Now it's the poorest country. Haiti, when white people governed it was the richest country in the Western Hemisphere. Oh, now it's poor. You know why it's poor? Because that wealth has been stolen back to white people. But when they had complete control of it, and they had people had slaves on the island, it was the richest place in the West. Haiti's not poor, just that's being stolen from. And that's why all the instabilities, like I said, like I did the show last night, you white people are fucking just, that's why the earth is killing your ass off. You're wicked by that. Forget the other statements. You're wicked and evil by nature. That's your fucking nature. Everywhere you go, it's always death, despair, famine, starvation, fucking tribalism, all that shit you introduce. All that shit comes from you. All of it. It's in Haiti. Haiti used to be peaceful. You got your hands back on it now when it's all fucked up, destabilized. All in Africa, same old shit because of your theft. Go ahead, Joey.
Well, I want you to watch this clip.
In this video, I'm going to show you why the United States is using Kenya to invade the country. This invasion is all about the country's iridium and gold. Do you see this special rock? There is tons of it in a once populated neighborhood.
This should be just enough evidence. Man, there's so much enough evidence to put Ruto behind bars, but they don't want to. There's so much evidence to just put this.
Yeah, I'm not gonna put my public behind bars. He's the one helping me steal the gold and the other minerals out of Haiti.
Of course, because it's the most corrupt. I mean, that's why I'm saying Kenya should be actually among the top corrupt countries because our leader is the top corrupt leader. In Africa, like the heck?
Where there were thousands of people living. This precious stone is one of the minerals that the United States is after. This is what the insecurity is all about.
Man.
The United States wants to use Kenya to steal its natural resources. This stone is in a heavily populated area that had over 30,000 people. But now it's a ghost town. The terrorist gangs
Looks like some stones I grew up seeing. I kind of wonder if I should go back and recheck.
chase the entire population out of their neighborhood so that they can dig for this stone.
Like a firestone.
This stone is worth trillions of dollars. This terrorist gang member showed this rock while he was digging to show what the United States is after. They have been mining for this rock for months, and now they need Kenya to help them get it.
See,
This
so
is
that,
why the United States is offering
that's why they're
Kenya
all fucking around in Haiti.
Mm-hmm.
$200 million for them to go to Haiti. Canada pledged to give another $100 million, which is a total of $300 million.
Family, did you hear that? Iridium. That is one of the minerals that I discussed in some of my previous broadcasts. Yes? Well, just so you know, what is iridium? Iridium, it says here in the online uses for this, it says that the dominant uses of iridium are the metal itself and its alloys, as in high performance spark plugs, crucibles for recrystallization of semiconductors, hello somebody, at high temperatures, and electrodes for the production of chlorine in the chloralkali process. How many of y'all know this is very important stuff for technological advancement throughout the world? Yes? So how many of you all know, based on the clip that you saw,
Whatever
didn't
you
they precisely bring into context this?
you got minerals, the white man's coming to see you. See, this what Haiti's all fucked up now. They're not coming to help you. They're coming to help you out of your shit. Destabilize you, destroy you, so they can steal it. That's what happened in Kenya, Nigeria, Uganda, everywhere they go. If they found some shit in your country, they're coming to see you. They're gonna fuck you up to steal it. Okay? The Africans ain't learned that yet. You better learn it. Go ahead, Joe.
Particular investigative reporter make very clear that the instability in Haiti has everything to do with the fact
Just like the
of this iridium, and how, as you heard the reporter say, one of the so-called gang terrorist members there showed them this stone of iridium. So if the so-called gang terrorist folks there are the ones that were taking this iridium out of the ground, if they were the ones that were directly benefiting from this, this is what it seems to be clear why the United States needed a black face, hello, Kenyan soldiers on the front line to drive out the gang members, because it is the United States and the West that wanted to benefit from this. This is what apparently this investigator is saying.
They use a bootleg country, show a black face. No, these are other black people. They're not oppressing their own people. These are other niggas doing this to niggas. Even though it's white people make them do it. No, it's not. Exactly. They want to put a black face on their criminality. These are other niggas that are doing this to niggas. That's what's going on. Except people are stupid. Go ahead.
Now, I again have discussed iridium in times past. I've also discussed some of the other minerals there, and I've taken my position based on credible, what I believe to be credible information. Of course, I provided many of those sources to you previous times, but I thought I would revisit this based on a more recent bit of evidence here, and for us not to forget that. I also brought that up because not too long ago, the former appointed temporary presidential leader was removed. How many of y'all know that Haiti has a presidential council that many have claimed that the United States is the one that's responsible for?
Control.
And he was forced out, and he he did a video where he gave information. Let me say that it was a video that was out there where he is alleged to have made it clear that it was unjust, his removal, and that only the parliament was the one that could legitimately remove him. But there's this council, a presidential council there in Haiti, that has other factions and forces from other countries. What is really going on? We know. I'm just bringing the news to you so that we can keep an eye on it, and I wonder what you think you can do about it. We're going to continue to highlight such things because there's
we can take Ruto to hell. That's what we can do. We can take Ruto to hell. You know, he needs to be charged for all the lives he killed in 2007 in a church, took lands, still doing it, abducting Kenyans and killing them and threatening the F out of us.
Yep.
I hear right now in Isiolo we have 10 children missing because of screaming Ruto must go.
Yeah.
10 children. You're even abducting children. You're gonna tell me South Sudan is the most corrupt? Nah, we're on the same level. All of us, same level. Like, leave alone what white people are telling me. We are on
Joby,
the level.
Joby. How
Same
many?
level.
If you're on the same level, how many Kenyans are up in South Sudan? Huh?
I think plenty. Not
I
really. I'm
doubt
not
it.
sure.
I don't know how many.
All right
I'm
now,
sure.
I'm not
Of
sure.
course, there's a few Kenyans up there, but not how many. How many Kenyans are running around Somali, Joby?
I don't think there's a
Exactly. Exactly. But there's a bunch of Somalis in Kenya. So yeah, there go your answer right there.
I get what you're trying to say, but it's all the same. Kenya is being used to go, fund violence in another country just because
Of
it's
course.
doing it in its own country. It's not like it's just the fact we don't see the bombs and all that. We've seen the carbon emission lands being taken, and you're gonna
Of
be
course.
shocked if you dare go to your own land. It's
Yeah.
crazy. This is just so crazy, man. But yeah, shout out to Ruto. He's really doing the part. I believe this man is gonna be president again, probably in 2027. But if it
I don't.
happens,
I
like
don't.
people are not gonna agree.
But they're not gonna allow it in Kenya. I don't. They're
Mhm.
not gonna allow it.
Exactly. Yeah, I feel because he's literally executing. Is I'd say the second Kagame we have of Africa. Yeah, I'd say the
Hmm.
second Kagame we have of Africa. After him, it's Museveni. Museveni is kind of a little bit low right now, despite his dictatorship. But yeah, I feel like Ruto is our second Kagame of Africa. Because no way. It's just so crazy. But as we move on to the next video, the last video I want to share of the day, I don't know if I'm going to be able to cover all this, but it's quite an interesting conversation talking about literally the Asian tribes that have been discovered, that have been termed as voodoo witchcraft by white people. And this is coming from Anita Ivy. And this just made me connect, of course, with what we were talking about yesterday, understanding white people, their racism. And I refer back to also a comment, I think it was Ricky, someone made a comment was talking about even if a white person is married to a black person, it doesn't mean they don't have racism. I kind of believe that too. I believe it's in your nature because us Africans, we know generally it's in our nature to just. So you can't tell me in them.
I told you because they sleep with you. We did the story yesterday. We had
Yeah,
Thomas Jefferson had a slave and had
yeah,
babies with the slave and kept the babies as slaves, Joby.
exactly. God damn it! How could I forget that? Like, yeah, it is so. I feel like it is just in them naturally, or it's just in them naturally. I feel like it's just in them naturally, literally, and just because they act nice doesn't mean they won't snap. If you threaten them or if you come with anything that threatens them. So I'd say we understand right now our history threatens them. Us knowing their history also threatens them. That's one thing I'm learning too. Us knowing their history actually threatens them. Us
Yeah.
knowing history threatens them.
Yeah,
Us
because
knowing
you're not gonna be kind and loving to people who have destroyed you.
Mhm. And that's knowing also our ancient history, which is the reason why they have kept it away from us for us to undermine
Extra,
ourselves, look at
extra power.
inferior people,
Yeah.
to just consider ourselves weak, to go along with all this skin bleaching, sulfate that they promote, is because of these powerful histories that they have hidden from us. So I'm going to share this to where I really can. The rest, I might maybe continue tomorrow or share the rest on the WhatsApp without
How
taking
long
much.
is it?
It is 22 minutes, so I can take 22 minutes, yeah.
Scared of going to hell. God damn it, we dance on fire. What we're dealing with right now is a spiritual warfare. And I don't mean the spiritual warfare your pastors using fear mongering people in churches, talking about how your village people after you. No, not that one. We were attacked at the various vital parts of our core. And this is one of them, our spirituality. Some African Christians will still come by this video and they'll be so scared talking about how this is demonic. They would not even be curious to know what exactly is the power that is in here, because I want to know and I need that. I need that.
I don't know if it's just me, but one question I often think about is like, how do we as people living in today's society think of ourselves as the most advanced humans in history when in reality we can't fully prove that because we don't know what they actually knew back then, and that's mainly because of colonialism. We already know how these kids of Columbus operated. The minute they touched down anywhere, they would either slaughter our ancestors or make them slaves, take what they thought was of value, and burn everything else to the ground. This means libraries, religious institutions, places containing information that's either political or economic, even medical information.
You know, it kind of made me just pause on that. I didn't understand why in schools we had, because we had libraries, but accessing libraries, it was kind of really hard. Personally, I loved reading storybooks, but having just that chance of going to a library was kind of really, really tough. We were not allowed. It was only, I think, the top scorers or the from number 1 to 10 are the students who could be allowed to go to the library, have that library session, read the books. But us as a class or as a school, or we're gonna have days of like, hey, today's library day, you can go look for any book, read some history and all that. No. So now I'm connecting the dots now why our school systems, even libraries today, are no longer there. Books have disappeared. We have library because in my high school, in primary, we had a
I
library.
always got to tell you, Joby, keep your stupid and keep your poor.
In our primary, we had libraries full of books, but we don't have access of them. In high school, it's a private goddamn school, of course, owned by a white person. Library very big, but empty, no books, empty shelves, no books. And I'm like, nah, it makes sense.
Our ancestors could have easily had the cure to cancer, and we will never know. And thousands of years later, we are still suffering from the same problems that our ancestors could have had the solutions to.
It's not my intention to be divisive, but if I am being honest, I have some core feelings towards white people that I probably need to work through. And as a person of color, I very much understand racism and prejudice and how it impacts a person. I grew up in the South. I grew up around white people calling me the N-word. And it's not even just about what has happened in the South. When I look at this planet, sometimes, some time ago, I was trying to figure out how do we quantify how much has been lost? What Europeans, what white people have done is they came in and they got to put a pause, they got to put a stop on everything. And whatever they stopped, they said, this is where it now starts with us. And because of that, do you know how much we have lost? We can't even fathom how much has been lost. If we could even fathom a fraction of it, we would be weeping. Who was it that they said decided that the planets revolved around the sun? Was it Copernicus? There were people on the continent of Africa who understood the stars and timing before they said Copernicus did.
One of those groups of people are the Dogon people, an ethnic group found in present-day Mali, West Africa. And they pass on their traditions and knowledge orally from generation to generation. And they have for thousands of years known that Earth revolves around the sun and that Jupiter has 4 major moons and Saturn has rings. They also have tales about aliens and spaceships that they said came from the Sirius star. And on Sirius, they've been known for a very, very long time that Sirius is approximately 8.6 light years from the Earth, and that
They also
Sirius
know that
has
that other Africans came from Sirius, more advanced. They also know that some of us came from Sirius. Exactly. So this that told you
companions.
Africans always known that there were other people in space that lived on other planets. That was known to us. White man didn't know it. He's one all in caves, all fucked up, all stupid. So we say, oh, the aliens are here. Does it exist? The Africans already knew 1,000 years ago that other people lived on other planets. This was been known throughout that, but now the Africans have lost this because through, like they said, through colonization. The African been knew that there were other people on other planets and that they could talk to them spiritually through telekinesis, that they would talk to other people on other planets. The African knew this thousands of years ago. Now we ask you, oh, are there aliens? Are there space people? Yes. Africans been knew this. So now it's coming back again. The Africans have been made so dumb now. Are there aliens out there? Is that in the Bible? Does Jesus know about that? Dummy. Your ancestors been knew about that, and they would talk to these people on other planets. This has been known, but you lost, like they right, you lost all this information. Go ahead, Joey.
Okay.
star that is invincible to the human eye. Note that this companion star of Sirius that is not only invisible to the eye, it is also difficult to observe even through a microscope. But somehow these people have been known about this particular star, this companion star of
And these are
Sirius
not,
for
they keep
years
calling them Dogon.
without even
We understand they now call themselves the Dogon tribe living in Mali. They moved to Mali. These are the original Kemites from Kemet. When Africa kept getting invaded, Northern Africa, what you call Egypt today, the Africans left. Some went down to Kenya, some went all the way down to South Africa. Well, I told you one people. Some went over to Mali, some went down to South Africa, came to Zulu tribe. Some are still in Kenya, some in Ghana, some in Nigeria. They went down to Africa, south, and some went different places. But these guys are originally from Kemet. Okay, they're not from Dogon. They're not from Mali. They're in Mali now, yes, because they left Kemet because the white and the Arabs were invading. That's how you got all the white people in North Africa. The black people went south and other places in Africa. They left and went further south. They're not from this region of Mali. That's where they settled after they left Kemet. Go ahead, Joby.
having a microscope or any other scientific equipment. They also explain that the star moves in a 50-year elliptical orbit around Sirius and that it is small and incredibly heavy and that it rotates on its axis. The Dogon people call this star Potolo, which means smallest seed. The Dogon people also maintain that there is a third star that exists in the Sirius system, and they call this star Emeya. When legends of the Dogon people started gaining traction, astronomers and scientists were in awe. They could not believe how astronomically precise the claims of the Dogon people were, especially seeing how they didn't have no telescopes or any scientific equipment for that matter. In 1970, there was no
Because
evidence for
black
the
people
third
are
star,
naturally psychic.
which the
You
Dogon.
lost all this. You knew the stars because you're connected to the universe. You went back to your tradition, stop being scared of being African, told you what you is evil. You're connected to God. So God gives you downloads, tell you what's in the universe. You know it telepathically. You don't need that. You are African. You are the technology. Your body's technology. White people need to make technology to see things. You are the technology. Go ahead, Joe.
Dogon people call Emeya. However, in 1995, two French researchers, Daniel Benest and J.L. Duvent, authored an article in the Astronomy and Astrophysics journal titled Is Sirius a Triple Star? Based on observations of motions in the Sirius system, they suggested the possibility of a small third star there. And this is the annoying part, is how even though the Dogon people had talked about the third star Emeya, I just know they didn't believe them. Well, now that two white men, two French researchers had come out and spoken about the possibility of this star existing, guess who now they would believe? White supremacy literally puts everybody at a standstill. Nothing gets validated until these people gives it validation. Nobody moves an inch until they say, oh, now you can move. Knowledge that we could have globally had, like since day before yesterday, these people, because of their white supremacist mindset, will make you have it 200 years later. We cannot begin to imagine just how much this mindset is holding us back globally. And it gets worse when you now look at their present pattern of going to the past to go pick up things that they had once called demonic or uncivilized or backward or barbaric. Things that they had made us turn our backs on, like building with mods, for example. Now they are building with mods and calling it the future. I don't know about anyone else, but my brain won't bust just thinking about it. Because if your past is getting called the future, what does that say about your present? What does that say about where you think you are? What does that say about where you could have been if you had held on to that past and built on it and worked on it? Anyways, while controversy persists over the Dogon source of information on Sirius, the accuracy of their assertion continues to confound scientists and astronomers. And that's just one group of people. Now imagine that for like literally everybody. Imagine all of that knowledge, having it all like intact, exactly in entirety, 100% like raw like that. What we have now is a fraction of information. We cannot even begin to imagine what our world would have been looking like right now and what our lives would have been like with all of that knowledge. We can only imagine, and I think it's very sad.
It's wonderful. It will be spiritual, to be magical. It will be us just doing the spiritual things without anyone telling us this is voodoo, this is witchcraft. Tapping into the energy, like Keith was talking about yesterday, us coming up with different inventions because we have the ability to be able to understand what we're doing. So it'd be really super magical things. And I love the fact she questioned, imagine if you had this history which has been not taught to you, from the beginning, and understanding what you're doing, how far would really be far. Because yes, right now we're seeing white people, of course. I remember it's from her. I shared the video of the mud houses. White people right now building mud houses after them talking shit about our mud houses, despite them coming right now. Same mud houses that they have been talking shit about are the most expensive resorts.
because because it was scientific, Joe. Because you live Africa's hot, you kept the mud so keep it cool in the inside.
Mm-hmm.
It was all everything Africans done were technical, but the white man
Mm-hmm.
didn't understand it, so he demonized it. Then you being kind and you took on your own demonization of yourself.
Mm-hmm. Because yeah, I've seen how white people go to the Manyata houses, or these mud houses, and right now, even in Mombasa, we have a bunch of them. They're the most expensive resorts we have, in Africa. So it's crazy right now. They are taking our culture back in their home and even building estates of them, and claiming this is the future. So Africans, this is up to us now to understand again our history has all been lies, and that the need to relearn everything is very necessary. Of course, it's so hard to unlearn a lie. It takes time. Sometimes you think someone is really lying. Because for me, again, I'd love to say about the religion, I was running away, but with time, because I'd already introduced myself into, the astrology, manifestation, how to manifest and all that. So even when kids also religion, I'm like, I've already started questioning this and I've never liked the church. So let me understand something. So give yourself time, give yourself, of course, the room.
You're gonna unlearn a lot, Joby. You see, you don't got no mask on.
Of course, right now you take accommodate anyone coming from anywhere. I don't care which pandemic is happening. Like, that's a lie. My immune is strong. I can deal with that shit. Come on, bring it on. So I hope we're gonna be able to also pass the knowledge to our younger children. We shouldn't be scared, because I've seen Africans also grow up with we have fear, and we need to get rid of the fear. Once we get rid of the fear, it's also easy for us to pass the same knowledge to the children, our sisters and brothers, because. But like what I'm talking about here, I'm trying to look at it like when it comes to sex
Well, your
education.
society, the African society, are based on fear. They want, like Burna Boy got that word right. You're African, you're born in fear, because
Mhm.
that's how they keep control of you. But go ahead, Joe.
Yeah, like I'm trying to look at it with the sexual education. Our parents didn't want to teach us sexual education because they think it's something bad to talk about. But I'm gonna get to that age where I'm gonna need, and I'm gonna do all this without your
You need
permission.
to teach. Yeah,
So,
how's it bad? That's part of life.
mm-hmm,
You are a sexual being, so
mm-hmm,
you got to teach your children about the goods and the bads about it, so they won't make mistakes. So there are no unwanted pregnancies, or they're not getting any AIDS or anything. So you must teach them. Why is I don't, that's a part of life. I don't understand why that's such a hard to. People are sexual beings. That's what you are. Okay, so you got to teach your children. You have to teach. If you don't learn in the house, they learn it in the streets. What they learn in the streets is mostly a lie. So you got that choice.
exactly, exactly. Because that's what I'm saying. Even with the rest of the information, I hope the Gen Z parents and the millennials who are getting children right now, the Gen Alpha, when it comes to even religion, you're not gonna be scared. Oh, I don't want to teach my child how to know Jesus. Let them just go along with the bullshit they learn on their own. Because there's some people are like that. I hope we're gonna grow up and raise our children with confidence that our parents didn't give us, that we had to earn for ourselves. So yeah, with that being said, we're coming to the end of the show. I'm gonna share the rest of the video. The next remaining few minutes, you guys can watch the rest on WhatsApp. But yes, Santini Sana to everyone was tuned in. John Mosquito and Sankenon, Sister Michelle, Noskia, is it Noski? If I'm pronouncing that correct, is it Naski or Noski? But yeah, thank you so much for tuning in as well. And to those who shall be catching this replay on BitChute on Rumble YouTube, hope you guys get to enjoy. But much love from me. See you guys later on the Tubonge show, myself and Iwaton. But yeah, much love, family. Salute. Keep closing remarks.
No. What happened to
Go.
You know you can't ask me questions on air, Kip. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. What happened to Shimani? Is she okay?
Break it down now, roll it up and breathe. It's been a while, you've been around now. You were turning up.